Okay, so right now I'm loading up shells into the racks. I'm trying to match them. So these are the Bay High total exposure shells, and notice we got crackling. This is crackling right on the shell. We got 4 of those, so like we're gonna try to put all 4 of those together. That way they go off kind of at the same time. And you'll notice if you look at the front of the racks here, I got them labeled what they are. Rack number 1 is TNT, rack number 2 TNT, 3 TNT, 4 TNT, 5 TNT to total exposure, 6 will be total exposure, 7 will be total exposure, 8, 9, 10, I'm not sure yet. We got some brother shells we might slap in there. We got Excaliburs to load up. Of course, Excaliburs I'm going to save more for the big racks at the end. I also have some Red Rhino maxed out shells, and got some smiley face shells. I kind of put them in that 5-shot rack over there already. It's labeled with a smiley face, that way I know what they are. But you know, whenever you're loading up the shell, make sure that the shell hits the bottom of the mortar. You can actually hear it hit the bottom. And of course, you always want to make sure your mortars are cleaned. We just did a show last Saturday, so I had to re-clean all these out. And when I say clean, you basically just have to dump out all the previous debris. It's not like you have to power wash them or anything like that. These shells, these total exposure shells, they're really nice shells, and I'm really excited to have them in the show. However, if you're doing a massive show, the way this fuse is done up, you really have to untangle it. That dang blue thing, I should probably take that blue thing out first. Untangle it, and then one more time. It's kind of wrapped up really good. I like that in a shell, but at the same time, it's a pain in the butt if you're trying to do a lot of shells at once, and then you gotta take this blue thing off, which you just kind of can rip it in half and it'll normally come right off, but still. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. We got a long way to go. All the cakes are actually already hooked up to igniters. I got up pretty early this morning and stayed up pretty late last night just doing that because I was way too excited to sleep. So we're going to be working on, we're going to load up all the mortars first, and then I'm going to fuse them together how I want to, but I think we're going to do slow fuse on the first 5, which would be TNT shells. I think we're going to speed it up to perfect fuse on the next 5. And then the last couple, we're going to hit it pretty hard, probably with quick fuse. So that's what we're doing right now, and I'll keep you updated. I'm taking all of the blue and gold stars with the crackling pistol, which there's 6 of these. And then right now I'm loading up this 20-shot rack over here. So I'm loading up this 20-shot rack with 6 like effects, and what I'm doing is 3 on each side. That way, you know, 6 different shells will be going off, but they will be fanned 3 shells on each side that are the same shell. That way it's going to look a little bit more coordinated and together. Now, like I said, we kind of coordinated the effects from all the 10-shot racks, which we have 10 of those, and then I'm going to coordinate the effects through the 20-shot rack, the 30-shot rack. The second 30-shot rack is more or less going to be Sky Puke, and then the final 25-shot fan rack is also going to be Sky Puke with a little bit of surprise at the end. So that's kind of, I think that'll be fine. You know, I know a lot of people that watch my videos complain about the Sky Puke, but to tell you the truth, the audience likes it, so I don't care. Okay, so I've begun fusing the shells together, and you'll notice I started with the 25-shot fan rack, which is the last thing to go off, and I'm gonna work my way through the beginning of the shell. I got quick fuse on here, and you know it's gonna be lit going this way, so all the fuses come out of the mortar and then go to the direction that the fire is coming. And of course, I gave myself plenty of room down here to work with. That way I can attach it to other racks. Now, I was kind of playing around with this. Originally, normally I cover it with foil. However, I for some reason forgot to get foil, and I'm not gonna have someone pick it up for me. So I'm kind of tempted just to slap a piece of tape on there, kind of like that. That way, if a spark falls in that, it won't light. And then, of course, the shells will blow right through that. So I'm not really worried about that being a problem. I don't know, I haven't quite decided if I'm going to do that or not. And you'll notice if you look at all the other mortars, there's pieces of tape attached to every single one of them. We just got done doing that as well. So as soon as this is done, the bulk of the show, as far as work goes, is going to be completed. Then we'll just move on to setting it up in the shoot site. So. Okay, so we're getting ready to set up all the shells, which will be the opener and the finale. You can see here, they're all loaded in the back of the truck. They're all fused together. I have a whole bunch of wood to nail the 10-shot racks together, and of course, some double-sided nails, or double-headed nails, I mean, hammer, all that good stuff. And the shoot site, you know, last year we did it here in this grassy area, which we just mowed. That's why there it looks kind of dead. Now, I don't really think it's gonna catch on fire. We're probably gonna water it down just as precaution, but we're actually gonna be shooting off here in the field. kind of works to our advantage that the water is really high there for a while during that, you know, a couple months back, and the corn didn't plant. So we're actually gonna be shooting off here in the edge of the cornfield. So it's gonna be a little bit further back than we shot off last year, and it's pretty flat there, so it's gonna work out pretty good. But I can't drive over there because you can kind of see over here there's this water runoff, whatever you want to call it, and so I can't really drive across that. It doesn't look bad in the video, but it actually is pretty bumpy. So we're gonna have to haul this stuff over there and start setting up. Okay, so this is kind of what we got going on now. We got the 2 V8 racks out here, and those could definitely change. I just put them up there just to kind of get an idea what I'm doing. And then of course the opener as far as shells go with the 3W, W3, whatever you want to call it, rack. Got another chunk of plywood I'm going to use out here for a base, but a lot of this is pretty flat. So I might just stake some of the cakes in. And then over here's the finale. And the great thing about living in a cornfield is there's a lot of room. So there's one time I'm appreciative for having cornfields. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start right here. It's gonna light there, go all the way down, and this 5-shot rack actually fit perfectly. Go down, wrap around, and go all the way back. And then once those finish, I'm gonna hit this cue. Start through there, go through there, jump up to 20, which will be quick, 30, 30, 25 fanned. So that'll be this right here will basically be the finale, and the 10-shot racks will all just be leading up to the finale. So, and you can see what we did here. I took double-headed nails and nailed the racks together. They're not going anywhere, and this is just so they don't tip over. You know, it looks a little rigged up, but hey, it's gonna work out. So, yep, now we just got to fuse all these together so they're all attached, and then I'm gonna add a couple safety like some bridges in there, so that way in case something doesn't light there, at least it'll jump over and light the rest of the racks. And then we're gonna go get all the cakes and set up all the cakes, and so the body of the show is gonna be spread out through here. And you know, once we get all the stuff out here is really when I'm gonna determine where it's all gonna go. So gotta go grab it. A lot more work to do, but it's like 2 in the afternoon, so we got plenty of time. Okay, so this is kind of what we're setting up now, and I just realized that this needs to go this way a little bit to kind of even it out. So I'll just take you up there. Still in the very pre-production stage. We got these full powers. We got 3 of them, and I think this can be the very opening thing we're gonna do. And then we got the module here, kind of in the center. We're gonna have the main body of the show kind of over here by the pieces of plywood, and the bigger stuff is gonna be back here by the finale. And see, this is gonna be the second module, and I got things like this one over here. And I decided that I'm gonna go try to find foil because, oh boy, I would not want that to light premature. So, and you know, I wasn't necessarily gonna put it that close to it, but if I get foil, I probably will. Otherwise, I was gonna move this stuff out a little bit more. That way, you know, we could use the second module instead of just for the finale. So a lot of this bigger items, I think Whiskey Tangos, the Big Sexy, BMF, stuff like that, I think I'm gonna move it to the back here kind of area, and then the rest of the show, I'm gonna hook up to this module. But and I do have shooting wire. So, it's 500 feet, 22 gauge shooting wire. So I'll be able to use that. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to hook up to like the V8 cakes, or I'm sorry, racks and stuff like that. So, I don't know, I still got a lot of work to do, but I just want to keep you guys updated as we go along. And last night I actually hooked up the igniters. I hooked up the igniters to every single cake. I put the igniters, they're Talon igniters, so I clipped them in the very bottom of the fuse, taped the igniter to the cake, put another piece of tape on there just in case someone trips on the wire. It's going to pull on that tape rather than on the part that's connected to the fuse. And of course I just taped the igniters to the box, that way they're not out of the way. And you can see I did that to every single cake, so that way it was just a lot of work taken out of the way that I did last night. All right, so we're officially done setting up. It's 5 o'clock, so we're way ahead of schedule. And I have some 200-gram cakes I'm thinking about adding in there. I'm not quite sure yet, but we got a good setup so far, so I really don't know if I want to touch it. So cue number 1 will be, cue number 1 and 2 are the opener. 1 will be full power, which is right across the front here. There's 3 of them. 2 will be this rack right here, which is 24 shots of Excaliburs. Then we'll jump into cue number 4, which will be guns up and 4 million fireflies. You can see there's 2 guns up, 4 million fireflies right here in the front. Q5 will be honey pot. I got 2 of them right here and here. And what I did was I flipped one, you know, it says this way to the audience. I flipped one facing the audience. I flipped one the opposite direction, hoping that, you know, they won't start on the same side. One will start this side, one will start this side. And then I kind of staggered them. That way they won't collide in midair. Excuse me. Cue number 6 is cherry drop, one of them by themselves. Cue number 7 is 3 cherry drops. We got one right there, one in the back, one right there, and like I said, they're staggered, that way they don't collide. Then after that, I'm going to give a short pause, you know, kind of as a cheering point. People really like that when I do my shows. So then cue number 8 will be right here, which is a comet, and then 2 mines on the end. You can see I didn't have enough foil, so I just slapped a piece of tape on there to reduce any sparks from hitting it. Cue number 9 will be Matrix Pyro. We got one right there, one over there behind the Midnight Sunburn. Cue 10 will be the V8 racks, which are right here. They each have 3 mines, and the rest are Excaliburs. Let's see here. Cue 11, we have Asian Sensation. We got 2 right there and 2 right there. I'm going to do 2 at a time. So then Cue 12 will be 2 more. Let's see here. Cue 13 will be Ninjas of the Night. That's the 100-shot Brothers cake. That's kind of like the scramble effect. And there's one on each side, of course. Halfway through that, we're going to hit Cue 14, which is Scramble right there and over here. And those are pretty awesome. I'm really excited to see those ones go off myself. And I forgot to mention this. Each of the cakes have the number on top of them. We just went ahead and slapped them on there. Of course, I got it written down here. That's what I'm reading off of. Cue 15, we got 2 riding shotguns. Oh, they're right back here behind the module. 2 and 2. And we're going to do 2 at a time. So that'll be Cue 15 and 16. Flip over to the next cues here. Cue 17 will be Mummy Awakes, which is, oh, that red one right there. One right here by my foot. Cue 18 will be Texas Rattlesnake, one there, one over there. So that's all of Cue 1. Now, or I'm sorry, Channel 1, Module 1. So then we're going to jump to Module 2, which is this module right here. And first up is Big Sexy, which you can see we got them pretty far apart over there. And then shortly after that, we'll hit Whiskey Tangos. We got 2 Whiskey Tangos there. Then we got Guerrilla Warfare. This is my fake finale. I got 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All those will go at the same time. And you know, of course, after that, we'll pause a little bit, let people cheer, whatnot. Then right after that, we're gonna hit BMF, and you'll see they're kind of staggered. Another V cake there. I don't want them to collide in there. And the Big Sexy is actually kind of staggered too. I just don't want them to hit in midair. That'd be bad. Cue 5 will be 2 Loud and Rowdies. I got 2 right there and 2 right there. So Cue 5 will be 2 Loud and Rowdies. Cue 6 will be 2 Loud and Rowdies. Cue 7 will be Amazing Ballet right here. Cue 8 will be 1 Gold Dust, which I'm not even sure where that one's at. Oh, sorry, right there. That 1 Gold Dust by himself, and then Cue 9 will be 2 Gold Dusts together. And like I said, they're a little bit staggered. I probably should move that just a tad bit out of the way. They're a little bit staggered, that way they won't collide in midair. Cue number 10 is 1 Apocalypse. Cue number 11 is another Apocalypse. Cue number 12 is Carnival Lights over here, that 3-inch 9 on a board by Pyro Predator. And then 13 will be the start of this shells here. And so 13 will start here and it'll slowly wrap around. These are TNT shells and they're matched effects, TNT shells, TNT shells, TNT shells. And then right here on the 5, to kind of, that was worked out perfectly, by the way, for me to fit that 5-shot rack in there to kind of bridge it over. Smiley face shells, you'll see my little description of it. And then right here, this is actually Cue 17. This is a backup cue in case for some reason that does not light or does not finish all the way through. We have a backup right there. So then we'll move into TNT / total exposure, total exposure, total exposure, and then it kind of mixes into Excals. I'm not sure if there might be some javelin shells in there too. I can't remember quite what's in there. And then right after that will be Cue 14, which is the finale. So we'll have, starting on this 10-shot rack here, it'll be Excals, followed by Excals, a 20-shot fan rack of Excals, and then right here is another backup cue. It'll be Cue 18. So that'll be a backup cue in case something happens along this way. We'll still be able to hit the 30, 30, and 25 fan. So then we'll be, Excaliburs, and they're all like same effect across here. There's 6 of them, all same shells, 6 of them, all same shells. Of course, they'll be going off quick enough, you might not even be able to know. And then once we get into the final 25, and by the way, I added a bridge right here, so in case only 2 of the rows light or 1 of the row lights, there's a bridge connecting them. That way they'll jump over and light the other ones. And then the last 25, a 25-shot fan rack, that's a mixture of maxed out Excals, and then the last whatever shells are all going to be noise. It's going to be fun. So anyways, you can kind of see the overview here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the modules. This is module number 2, or on channel 2. Let's go ahead and turn it on to test. See if you can see it right there. 1P9, 2P9. I just changed the batteries actually for 1P9 for this show. 1P9 is the one that runs all the lights in the display. 2P9, or I'm sorry, 2P that does all the firing. And you know, I've used this for several videos, used this for a show already, and used this for a demo, and it's still at 9, so that's pretty cool. You'll see right there, channel 2. Let's go ahead and press test. We got here, looks like 1 through 12, 13, I'm sorry, 1 through 14 lit up, and 17, 18, 15, 16 are blank. You can see it right there, 15, 16 are blank. All the other ones are good. So that looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and, well, let's put the antenna on there first. I suppose we should put that antenna up there. Once we put the antenna up here, we'll close the lids, or we'll put it to arm, close the lid, and this module will be good to go. Of course, I'm gonna go test signal strength and everything like that before we do it. Let's make sure it runs through all this stuff again. Man, that's hard to see. Yeah, channel 2. Cool. Let's test it one more time. Looks like 12 wasn't lining up there. Nope, 12 lit up. Okay. Alright, so it's in arm. We'll go ahead and close this down. And remember, we can test the continuity on the remote itself. So this one's ready to go, and then, you know, right before the show, we'll test it again, and if there's any problem, I'll run out here and do it. I'll make sure everything's working properly. Now check out all these wires. Isn't this cool? I think this is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and flip this. Hell, let's just go ahead and arm it. Okay, so 1P9, 2P9. Same thing, I switched the battery for the 1P on this one. So you see channel 1 there. Let's go ahead and test it. All 18 should light up. And it looks like all 18 lit up. Okay, so it's already in arm. Antenna's already in there. Everything should be good to go. We'll just go ahead and close the lid on there. Flip the antenna up like so. And we will go test. I'm gonna go test the range on there. See exactly how far away we can get. But I'm gonna give you guys an overview again. I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty excited about it. So should be a good time.
That's Howard's brother.
Okay, so what time is it? Like a quarter till 9?
Quarter till 9.
And we're just kind of mingling, enjoying the party. There's tons of cars down the lane. We saw a car pull up at the bottom of the lane, and we figured, hey, let's go invite them on up. I mean, heck, they know we're doing a firework display. You can kind of see the van behind me there. So we're over there talking to them and whatnot, and they heard that we did a show last Saturday, and they heard that we were doing another one here, so they wanted to come check it out. And it turns out my roommate's actually related to them, so I think they're gonna be coming on up. They better be. If not, we might go have to hassle them some more.
Yep.
But here, I'll kind of show you guys the cars. Start here and they go straight up the driveway. I don't want to really show the license plates, but go all the way up the driveway. There's quite a bit of people here. I think 9:15 is gonna be our launch time, so it's gonna be an awesome show.